Hi, so today we're going to be talking about one-step equations. The whole point of a one-step equation is to isolate that variable. We want to get this variable alone. Now, what's stopping it? That -5. In order to move that -5, we got to do something called an inverse operation. We have a subtraction problem here. The inverse, or the opposite of subtraction, is addition. So we need to add 5 to both sides. When we do that, 5 minus 5 cancels out. You're left with only x on that left side. On the right side, add those two numbers up, we get 12. Now, x doesn't always have to be in the front. It could come second, and that's okay. But the whole point of trying to isolate that variable, to get it alone, to find its unknown quantity, either way, we have to do an inverse operation. Now I look at the number in front, that 5. Now I ask, is it positive or is it negative? Do I go with this plus sign? No, this plus is stuck with the x. I need to go what's in front, but there is no sign. The sign in front, if it doesn't say anything, is addition. Now the inverse of that addition, subtraction. Do it to one side, do it to the other side. They cancel out. X equals, we'll do this subtraction problem. You're left with 2. That's addition subtraction. What about multiplication and division? Well, if you have the inverse of addition is subtraction and subtraction is addition, what's the inverse of multiplication? Division. So right now I see my variable, I want to isolate it, I want to get it alone. It's being multiplied, they're stuck next to each other. So the only way to break that is to divide. I divide by the number that's stopping x from being alone. In this case, it's 3. It's the same number. Make sure you do it to both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and what that really is showing us is really 1x. But I don't need that 1 because anything multiplied by 1 is itself. So we cancel it out. We just leave it as x. On the other side, 12 divided by 3, 4, a negative and a positive give us a negative. So we just leave that. We've got multiplication here, but I can't divide. I can't divide a fraction divided by a fraction. It's gonna get really confusing and really ugly really quickly. So what I do instead is something called multiply by the reciprocal. We've got this number 1/4, this fraction. The reciprocal is taking this fraction and turning it upside down on itself. So I'm going to multiply by that value, which I take the 4 on the bottom, move to the top, 1 on the top, move it to the bottom. Now, those all cancel out. If I do it to the left, got to do it to the right side. So I do this. Now notice how I took that whole fraction, I kind of moved it down because I wanted to line up my top with my top and my bottom with nothing. Any number that's plain old by itself, you can turn to a fraction by putting it over 1. And then really, I don't even need those 1s, so I can ignore both of those. Just kind of extra noise for us in here. Now, 2 times 4, 8, and on the other side, all I'm left with is just x. That is one-step equation.